Hi all, welcome to another important session of the current events for ESSEC Deputy Director exam on EduTap. And my dear learners, I hope that all of you are healthy and preparing well for your upcoming exam. And today we are going to discuss the 15 most important MCQs, that is the part 11 of this particular series for the current event section of ESSEC 2021 Deputy Director exam. So before starting the session, if you are new to our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe it and press the bell icon to receive all the latest updates of the courses and videos offered by us. And you can also join our Telegram channel to get the access to the PDF of these lectures. To join the Telegram channel, kindly click on the link given in the description below. Now let's move on to the session. Let's get started. So my dear learners, here is the very first question on your screen, and all of you are required to answer the question in the comment section below. So if you talk about the question 1, it says that consider the following statements in relation to the National Achievement Survey. See, National Achievement Survey has been recently held by the government, and now in order to answer this question you are required to quickly go through these particular statements, and then you are going to tell me in the comment section below that which of the following statements given above is or are correct. See, if we talk about the very first statement, it says that this NAS, that is National Achievement Survey, is a nationally representative large-scale survey of students and learning undertaken by the Ministry of Education, Government of India. The statement 2 is about that under the survey, the instrument development, testing and finalization of the test items is being done by NCERT. And the third statement says that this survey is being conducted in language, mathematics and EVS for class 3 and 5, the language, mathematics, science and social science for the class 8, and language, mathematics, science, social science and English for class 10th. So after going through all these statements, all of you are required to tell me in the comment section below that what exactly is the right answer to this question. And my dear learners, when we talk about the right answer to this question is option D, that is all of the above. That means all these statements which are mentioned here about the National Achievement Survey are correct as per the National Achievement Survey. So now let's discuss this particular question and the National Achievement Survey, and let's see that what are exactly the different features of this particular survey. So my dear learners, if we talk about the National Achievement Survey, this survey, the last time it was held on 13th of November 2017, and during that period, this particular survey assessed the competencies developed by the children at the grade levels of 3rd, 5th and 8th standard. And if we talk about this particular survey, then my dear learners, it is being conducted by the Ministry of Education, and it is a nationally representative large scale survey of the students learning, and that is the reason that it gives us a system level reflection that whether the school education that we are providing to our children are effective or not. That means it provides us the effectiveness of the school education. And apart from that, as it tells us, as it talks about the reflection of this effectiveness, it also helps us in finding and diagnosing the learning gaps of students, and it also helps in determining the interventions which are required in our education policies to bridge this learning gap of the students. Apart from that, through its diagnostic report cards, the NS findings are also helping in capacity building for the teachers and officials who are involved in the delivery of the education. Now, if we move on to the National Achievement Survey 2021, then this survey is going to cover the entire spectrum of schools, whether it is the state government school, the government aided schools, or the private unaided recognized and the central government schools. And under this particular survey, all the instrument development, the testing and the finalization of these test items have been done by NCERT, that is National Council of Educational Research and Training, and the actual administration of this test will in the sampled schools will be done by CBSE, that is the Central Board of Secondary Education. So I hope that this is very much clear, and here the framework that under this particular survey will be conducted for class 3 and 5, for class 8 and for class 10, and the subjects in which this particular survey will be conducted is also be given. And apart from that, for the value addition, we have also mentioned here that this test would be conducted in 22 mediums of instruction, and these mediums have been mentioned here. So I hope that this particular thing is very much clear to all of you. And now let us move on to the next question of our today's session, which is here on your screen. So the next question is, which one of the following initiatives has been recently launched by the Prime Minister which aims at enhancing the access to the government securities market for the retail investors? See, recently two consumer centric initiatives have been launched by the Prime Minister, and here you are required to answer me the initiative which aims to enhance the access to the government securities market for the retail investors. And here the options are RBI Retail Seller Scheme, RBI Retail Securities Scheme, RBI Retail Market Scheme, or RBI Retail Direct Scheme. So all of you are requested to answer the question in the comment section below, that what exactly is the right answer to this particular question. So my dear learners, if we talk about the right answer to this question is RBI Retail Direct Scheme. See, all these schemes, portals, programs, initiatives which are being launched by the government are really very important from the exam point of view, and that is the reason that we are discussing these kind of initiatives and programs as well as other important current affairs in this current event section for ESSEC 2021 Deputy Director exam. So if we talk about this RBI Retail Direct Scheme, my dear learners, this scheme aims to enhance the access to the government securities market for the retail investors, as this scheme provides these retail investors a new avenue where they can directly invest in the securities which are being issued by the government of India as well as the state governments. And apart from that, it will also enable the investors to open and maintain their government securities account online with the Reserve Bank of India free of cost. And my dear learners, apart from this RBI Retail Direct Scheme, they have also launched the Reserve Bank Integrated Ombudsman Scheme. See, this ombudsman scheme aims to improve the grievance redress mechanism in order to resolve the customer complaints against the entities which are being regulated by the Reserve Bank of India. And if we talk about the central theme of this scheme is being based on one nation, one ombudsman, where there will be just one portal, one email, and one address for all the customers to lodge their complaints against the entities which are being regulated by the Reserve Bank of India. I hope that this particular thing is very much clear to all of you. And now let us move on to the next question, which is here on your screen. So the next question is related to the Kunming Declaration which was being recently adopted. See, all these important declarations as well as the summits which have happened recently, they are really very important from the exam point of view. So here in this particular question, you are required to quickly go through these particular statements and then tell me in the comment section below that what exactly is the right answer to this question. And here these three statements are being mentioned about the Kunming Declaration which was recently adopted by various countries. See, if we talk about the statement 1, it says that this Kunming Declaration was being adopted by over 100 countries at the part 1 of the 15th meeting of the Conference of Parties to the United Nations Convention on Biological Diversity. And this declaration calls for urgent and integrated action to reflect biodiversity considerations in all the sectors of the global economy. And the third statement tells us about the theme of the Kunming Declaration. So after analyzing all these particular statements which have been mentioned here, you are required to tell me that which statement above mentioned are correct. And my dear learners, the right answer to this question is option D, that is all of the above. That means all these given statements about the Kunming Declaration are correct. So now let's discuss that what exactly this Kunming Declaration is. So my dear learners, recently the Kunming Declaration was being adopted by over 100 countries at this particular United Nations Biodiversity Conference. And this Kunming Declaration is also known as the Declaration from the High Level Segment of the United Nations Biodiversity Conference. And the theme of this declaration was ecological civilization, building a shared future for all life on Earth. So these were the basic information about this particular declaration. When we discuss this particular in much more detail, then my dear learners, this declaration calls for an urgent and integrated action which reflects biodiversity considerations in all sectors of the global economy. And this also demonstrates the global commitment to the post 2020 global biodiversity framework. So some more important information have been mentioned here. You can quickly go through them. Now we are moving towards the next question, which is here on your screen. So the next question is about the Vision Plan 2021 to 2031 for the Indian zoos. See, recently this vision plan has been released, and here you are required to read out the following statements which have been mentioned here and then tell me that which of the statements given above is or are correct as per the Vision Plan 2021 to 2031 for the Indian zoos. So if we talk about the very first statement, it says that this particular vision plan has been prepared by the Central Zoo Authority and it is a strategy for the transformation of Indian zoos with a 10-year vision plan. And the third statement says that this plan will be implemented across 153 zoos in India. And why? To upgrade the Indian zoos to global standards. So my dear learners, please tell me the right answer in the comment section below, that what exactly is the right answer to this question, that which one of the following statements given above is or are correct as per the Vision Plan 2021 to 2031. So the right answer to this question is option D, that is all of the above. So if we talk about this particular vision plan, see, recently the Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change has addressed a 2-day national conference, and during this particular conference, this particular vision plan 2021 to 2031 for the Indian zoos was being released. And if we talk about this particular plan, this plan has been launched, has been prepared by the CZA, that is Central Zoo Authority. And if we talk about the applicability of this particular vision plan, then this plan is being implemented across 153 zoos in India, and it will be upgrading Indian zoos to the global standards. So I hope that this particular part about this particular vision plan is really very clear to all of you. And see, these kind of vision plans which are being recently launched are also important from the exam point of view, and that is the reason that we are providing here these kind of questions on the same lines on which these questions are being asked in the examination. I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. Now let's move on to the next question. See, before moving on to the next question, the 10 pillars of the change under this vision plan are also being mentioned here. You can quickly go through them, and now we are moving towards the next question, which is here on your screen. So the next question is, which one of the following country has recently become the 101st member country of the International Solar Alliance? See, recently COP26 was being held, and during this particular COP26, one country has announced that it is joining the International Solar Alliance and it is becoming the member country of the International Solar Alliance, and this country with the joining has become the 101st member country of ISA. And now you are required to tell me in the comment section below that which one of the following country has recently become the 101st member country of the International Solar Alliance, whether it is France, USA, Japan or Pakistan. Please tell me the answer in the comment section below. See, International Solar Alliance is a group, okay, and this ISA is being headquartered in Gurugram, Haryana. Okay, so now if we talk about the right answer to this question, the right answer to this question is option B, that is United States of America. So USA has become the 101st member country of the International Solar Alliance. So my dear learners, here some more important information are being given, as we have already discussed that during the UNFCCC COP26, the United States of America has joined the International Solar Alliance as a member country, and it has become the 101st country to sign the framework. And if we talk about ISA, then it is an intergovernmental treaty based international organization and it is based in Gurugram, Haryana. I hope that this is very much clear. Now let's move on to the next question, which is here on your screen. So the next question is about the midday meal program, and once again a very important program which is being launched by the government of India. And here once again 3 statements are being mentioned here, and you are required to tell me that which of the statements given above is or are correct as per the midday meal program launched by the government. So first statement says about the launch year. The second statement says that it is a centrally sponsored scheme and it is being implemented by the Department of School Education and Literacy. And the third statement talks about the implementation of the scheme, that the implementation of this scheme will be overseen by the State Steering cum Monitoring Committee. And please quickly go through these statements and tell me in the comment section below that what exactly is the right answer to this question. And my dear learners, if we talk about the correct statements about the midday meal program which are being mentioned here, the right answer is option C, that is all of the above. That means all these statements mentioned here about the midday meal program are correct. So if we talk about the midday meal program. My dear learners, it was launched in year 1995 and it will be implemented by the Department of School Education and Literacy. It is a centrally sponsored scheme and it is being covered by the National Food Security Act 2013. Once again, a very important information which you are really required to remember. And under this scheme, hot cooked meal will be provided having the nutritional standards of 450 calories and 12 gram of proteins for primary, that is for the students which are studying in class 1 to 5th, and the 700 calories and 20-gram protein will be provided to the upper primary, that is the students which are being studying in 6 to 8 standard. So I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. Apart from that, the monitoring of the scheme is also being mentioned here, the details about the monitoring of the scheme. As we have already discussed in the question, that SSMC will oversee this implementation of the scheme, and the school management committee, which is being mandated under the Right to Free and Compulsory Education Act 2019, will also monitor the implementation of the midday meal scheme. If we talk about the funding, then the government is going to provide financial support to all the eligible schools and the implementing agencies in the form of free food grains and by bearing cooking related costs. So I hope that all these details about the midday meal program are very much clear to all of you, and this is once again a very important program which is being launched by the government, and that is the reason that you are really required to cover this particular program very comprehensively for the exam. Now let us move on to the next question, which is here on your screen. So the next question is about the minimum support price for minor forest produce scheme. See, once again a very important scheme, and here you are required to quickly go through these particular statements. The first statement says that it was launched in year 2011 by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. The second statement says about the aim of this particular scheme, and the third statement says that under the scheme the responsibility of purchasing this minor forest produce on the minimum support price will be with the state designated agencies. So my dear learners, please quickly analyze all these statements and tell me that what exactly is the right answer. See, before answering the question, kindly carefully read out the question, that what exactly it has been asked in the question. The question says, choose the correct option using the code mentioned above. Okay, so using these codes you are required to answer this question, that and you are required to choose the correct option in relation with the minimum support price for minor forest produce scheme. And my dear learners, if we talk about the right answer to this question, the right answer to this question is option D, that is all of the above, that all these statements which are being mentioned here about the minimum support price for the minor forest produce scheme are correct. So I hope that this is very much clear, and here the details of this particular scheme are being given, and this scheme was being launched in year 2011 by the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. And what exactly is the aim of launching this scheme was to provide minimum support price to the gatherers of the forest produces and to introduce value addition and marketing through the tribal groups and clusters. And if we talk about the coverage of this scheme in all over India, then earlier it was being implemented in 8 states having scheduled areas which are being listed in the 5th schedule of the Constitution of India. But from November 2016, the scheme was applicable in all the states of India. I hope that this is very much clear, and some key features about this scheme are also being mentioned here, that this scheme was a centrally sponsored scheme and the minimum support price is being determined by the ministry with the technical help of TriFed. Okay, so these are the important details, and we have discussed all the important details about this particular scheme. I hope that this is very much clear, and now we are moving towards the next question, that is here on your screen. So here please tell me in the comment section below that which one of the following states has topped the logistic ease across different states 2021 index. See, once again a very important question, very easy question and basic question. And if we talk about this logistic ease across different states index, then this particular report was being recently released, which tells us about the efficiency of the logistic services which are being provided to the different sectors. And if we talk about the right answer to this question, then my dear learners, the right answer, that is the state which has topped the leads index 2021 is option D, that is Gujarat. So If we talk about the leads index, that is the logistic ease across different states 2021, then my dear learners, this particular report provides us a granular insight on the logistic performance at the states and union territory level, and it would be a handy and practical guide to identify and to help the states in identifying that what exactly are the strengths, the opportunities, and what exactly are the improvement areas where they are really required to work on and to improve their rankings in this leads index. And if we talk about the preparation of this report, this report is being prepared by the team of transport and logistic professionals at Ernst and Young LLP with the guidance and inputs from the officials of Department of Logistics, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. And if we talk about the states and union territories, then this particular report divides the Indian states and union territories in three different categories. First one is the states in which the Gujarat was the top performing state. Then when we talk about the second category, that is the northeastern states and Himalayan UTs, then this particular category has been topped by Jammu and Kashmir. And then the third category was other union territories, which has been topped by Delhi. So this was the third category, and I hope that all these important insights of the Leads Report 2021 and the Leads Index 2021 are very much clear to all of you. And now let us move on to the next question, which is here on your screen. So the question number 9 says that which one of the following is the India's first manned ocean mission, which has been launched recently at the National Institute of Ocean Technology, Chennai. And what exactly is the aim of launching this mission? The aim was to have deep underwater manned vehicles for carrying out the subsea activities. So all of you are required to tell me in the comment section below the name of this India's first manned ocean mission. See, these kind of initiatives which are being taken and launched recently are really very important for you to prepare for the exam, and that is the reason that we have brought such kind of questions for all of you in the today's session. So my dear learners, please tell me in the comment section below that what exactly is the right answer to this question. Whether the answer is option A, that is Samudrayan, then Sarovarayan, Samudra Manush, or Mission Indian Ocean. So please tell me the right answer in the comment section below, and the right answer to this question is option A, that is Samudrayan. So my dear learners, here is the right answer of this particular question, and let's discuss this particular thing in little much more detail. See, India's first manned ocean mission, that is Samudrayan, has been launched recently at NIOT Chennai, and the aim was to have deep underwater manned vehicles for carrying out subsea activities. Okay, and the submersible vehicle has been named as Matsya 6000, which is going to carry 3 aquanauts in the ocean depths for exploration of the clean drinking water, clean energy, as well as blue economy. And some other details have been mentioned here. You can go through them. Now we are moving towards the next question, which is here on your screen. So the next question is about, once again, a very important scheme, that is Green Urban Transport Scheme. And here you are once again required to quickly go through these particular statements and then tell me in the comment section below that what exactly is the correct statement as per the Green Urban Transport Scheme. So the first statement says about the launch year and the ministry which has launched this particular scheme. The second statement is talking about the aim of this particular Green Urban Transport Scheme. And the third statement says that the startup accelerators can be given up to rupees 20 lakh to develop customized solutions for the startup they pick to mint. So my dear learners, here the three statements have been mentioned about the Green Urban Transport Scheme. See, I think the third statement is not about this particular scheme, so you can ignore this particular scheme. I will be correcting this particular question in the PDF. So here you are required to see the first two statements and then tell me the right answer, that what exactly is the right answer as per the Green Urban Transport Scheme. So here if we talk about the right answer to this question, the right answer to this question is option B, that is both statement 1 and 2 are correct. So my dear learners, sorry, here there is something wrong about this particular statement as well. So if you talk about the Green Urban Transport Scheme, see, let's discuss this particular scheme in much more detailed manner, and let's see that what exactly is the correct point. So if you talk about this particular scheme, then this scheme was being launched in 2016 by the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. And if we talk about the aim of the aim of this scheme was to encourage the growth of urban transport along with the low carbon path. See, once again, this particular scheme is catering towards the climate change, and in order to lower down the carbon footprints, this particular scheme aims to encourage the growth of urban transport along with low carbon path for substantial and measurable reduction in the pollution. Apart from that, this scheme also provides a permanent and sustainable framework for funding the urban mobility projects. And if we talk about the eligibility of the urban areas, if we talk about eligibility of the urban areas, in order to be qualified under this particular scheme, then the urban areas must be having population of above 5 lakhs will be eligible to implement this particular scheme. And if we talk about some other key features, then the vehicles which are being introduced under this GUTS scheme are to be fully featured with the intelligent transport system. And I hope that all these important dimensions, that what exactly are the launch year, the nodal ministry, the aim, the eligibility, as well as the key features of this scheme are really very much clear to all of you. And now let us move on to the next question of our today's session, which is here on your screen. So the question number 11 is, which one of the following places has hosted the 26th United Nations Climate Change Conference of the Parties, that is COP26? See, my dear learners, these summits are really very important to be covered, as once again this particular summit was really very important and it has happened just recently. So here I really believe that you all of you must be aware of this particular summit, and you are going to answer this question correctly in the comment section below, that which one of the following places has hosted this 26th United Nations Climate Change Conference of the Parties, that is COP26? And here the options are France, Scotland, Bangladesh and Japan. And my dear learners, the right answer to this particular question is option B, that is Glasgow, Scotland, which has hosted the 26th United Nations Climate Change Conference of the Parties. So if we talk about this particular COP26, then my dear learners, it was the first COP which was being held after the first 5-year review cycle under the Paris Accord. And this COP26 was being organized by the United Kingdom in partnership with the Italy. And if we talk about the president of the COP26, then he was Alok Sharma. And what exactly was the aim of organizing this COP26? Then my dear learners, this COP26 aims to agree on the new measures in order to meet the pledges for the emissions cuts and financial support made under the Paris Agreement. See, during the Paris Agreement, various countries have collaborated and they have decided some targets to achieve regarding the emission cuts and financial support that they are going to provide to the developing nations. So in order to agree on these new measures to meet the pledges for these particular two targets, this particular COP26 has been organized. And if we talk about the COP, then this COP is the apex decision making body of the United Nations Climate Change Framework Convention, which meets every year to discuss the issues which are related to environment. And if we talk about the first COP, then here the year as well as the place is being mentioned here. You can go through this. And now we are moving towards the next question, which is here on your screen. So the next question is about the aspirational district program. Once again, a very important program which is being launched by the government. And here once again you are required to quickly go through these particular statements and tell me the right answer. Please tell me, and by selecting the correct answer using the codes given below. Okay. So here if we talk about the first statement, it says that this particular aspirational district program was being launched in year 2018 by Niti Aayog. And in the second statement, it is talking about the aim, that it aims to quickly and effectively transform 115 underdeveloped districts through the mass movement. And the statement 3 says that recently Yadgir district in the Karnataka has been sanctioned additional grant of rupees 3 crore under the aspirational district program by the central government. So my dear learners, please tell me the right answer about this aspirational district program. And here you can see that this particular question talking about some statements about this particular aspirational district program, but it is also having the statement related to the current affairs, that is the Yadgir district in Karnataka has been sanctioned an additional grant of 3 crore rupees recently under this particular aspirational district program. So here you can also see the example that these particular schemes can also be related with the current affairs, and the question can be framed on these lines as well. So you have to be prepared very well in order to answer these kind of questions in the exam as well. And if we talk about the right answer to this question, then my dear learners, the right answer to this question is option D, that is all of the above statements given above are correct. So this was the current affair part of this particular scheme, and now we will be discussing the aspirational district program. See, this particular program was being launched by Niti Aayog in year January 2018. And what exactly was the aim? That why exactly this particular scheme was being launched? The aim was to quickly and effectively transform 115 underdeveloped districts through the mass movement. Here the core principles of the program are being mentioned here. And if we talk about the very major important thing, that this scheme will enable the government aim to raise the living standards of its citizens and ensuring inclusive growth for all under Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas motto. Okay, and a total of 115 districts have been identified across the country, and here at least one district has been picked from each state, and Jharkhand has the maximum number of aspirational districts. So once again, a very important point to be noted by you here, and you are required to remember this point because it is really very important from the exam point of view. Apart from that, here the five focus areas of the schemes are also being mentioned here, that is health and nutrition, education, agriculture and water resources, financial inclusion and the basic infrastructure are mentioned here. You can go through them, and I hope that this particular question is very much clear to all of you. And now we are moving towards the next question, which is here on your screen. So the next question is about the Amrut mission, that is Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation. So please tell me in the comment section below by quickly going through these particular statements that which one of the following statements given above is or are correct as per the Amrut mission. Okay. So if we talk about the very first statement, it is talking about the launch year and the ministry which has launched this particular program. Then the second statement is talking about that the aim of the Amrut mission, and the third statement says that the mission will focus on the following thrust areas, and here the main focus areas of this particular Amrut mission has been mentioned here. And please now tell me in the comment section below that which one of the following statements given above is or are correct, and the right answer to this question is option D, that is all of the above. So if we talk about the Amrut mission, this mission was being launched by Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs in year 2015. And what exactly was the aim? The aim of launching this mission was to provide basic amenities like water supply, sewerage, urban transport, parks, which are going to improve the quality of life for all those people which are living in those particular areas, especially the poor and the disadvantaged people. Okay, and if we talk about the thrust areas of this mission, the thrust areas of the mission are water supply, sewerage and septage management, then storm water drainage to reduce flooding, non-motorized urban transport and green space parks. And here the category of the cities which have been selected under the Amrut are also being mentioned here. You can quickly go through them. And if we talk about the target under the Amrut mission, the capacity building component aims to train 45,000 personnel from the mission cities along with providing amenities like water supply, sewerage, etc. And once again, it is a centrally sponsored scheme. So I hope that this particular part is very much clear to all of you. So my dear learners, these kind of questions you can expect in the exam based on these particular lines and based on these particular schemes, programs and initiatives which are being launched by the government, and you are really required to prepare all these schemes, programs and initiatives which are in news recently and which have been launched earlier as well, very comprehensively to answer the question successfully in the exam. Now let us move on to the next question, and the next question is here on your screen. So here you are required to tell me that which one of the following places has recently hosted the first international yoga and Ayurveda conference. So here you are required to tell me that the name of the place which has hosted the first ever international yoga and Ayurveda conference. Please tell me in the comment section below the name of this particular place, whether it is Croatia, Slovenia, Serbia, and Austria? Please tell me the answer in the comment section below. See, recently the first international yoga and Ayurveda conference was held, and this conference was being hosted in Zagreb, Croatia. So let's discuss this conference in detail. See, the first international yoga and Ayurveda conference was being organized by the Embassy of India, Zagreb, and the Ministry of Ayush together, and this particular thing was being held in Zagreb, Croatia. And the theme, once again, important part of this particular conference, the theme of this conference was Ayurveda for health and wellness. Okay, and a 6-member delegation panel which was being led by Pramod Kumar Pathak, a special secretary Ayush, has attended this particular event. So this particular thing was not that much important, but the most important thing was the place which has hosted this particular conference, and the theme of this conference is really very important. So I hope that this is very much clear to all of you. And now let us move on to the next question and the last question of our today's session, which is about the DG Saksham initiative. See, DG Saksham initiative was being recently launched, and here once again you are required to go through all these statements and then tell me in the comment section below that which of the following statements given above is or are correct as per the DG Saksham initiative. See, once again this initiative is really very important for you to cover for your exam. And if we talk about the very first statement, it says that this particular initiative has been launched in partnership, and the two entities are the Microsoft India and the Ministry of Labor and Employment. And in the second statement it is talking about the objective of this initiative, and in the third statement it is talking about the implementation of this initiative, that is DG Saksham initiative. So my dear learners, please tell me by quickly going through these statements and tell me in the comment section below that what exactly is the right answer to this question. And the right answer to this question is option D, that is none of the above, that none of the statements given above is or are incorrect. That's why I already tell you, always tell you that whenever you are answering the question, kindly read the questions very carefully, because the keywords which are mentioned in the question are really very important to be focused on. As in this particular question, the keyword was which one of the statements given above is or are incorrect, and none of the statements given above are incorrect, as all the given statements above are correct as per the DG Saksham initiative. So if we talk about this initiative, this was recently launched in New Delhi by the Union Minister for Labor Employment, and this initiative, it is a joint initiative of the Microsoft India in partnership with the Ministry of Labor and Employment. And this is an extension of the Government of India's ongoing programs to support the youth from the rural and semi-urban areas. So this particular initiative is going to provide the digital skills to the people, and so that they can continue their employment activities by acquiring the digital skills, which are really very important to get employment in today's era. And if you talk about the objective, then my dear learners, the objective of this particular initiative was to provide 10 million active registered job seekers on the National Career Service platform, equipping them with the skills required to thrive in the digital economy for free of cost. And if you talk about the key target, the key target is to equip more than 3 lakh youth in the technical skills. Okay, and here very important term, that is NCS, was also being here, that is a National Career Service Platform. So what exactly this NCS project? It is a mission mode project for the transformation of the National Employment Service, and this was launched in year 2015 and implemented by the Ministry of Labor and Employment. So I hope that all these details and important dimensions about this initiative are really very much clear to all of you. And my dear learners, that was the last question of the today's session, and that was the end of the session. So I hope that today's session was useful and fruitful to all of you. And if you have liked the session, please give a thumbs up in the comment section below. And if you have any queries, then you can drop us a mail at hello@edutab.co.in, and you can also call us at 8146207241. So my dear learners, once again, thank you for joining us. Wish you all happy learning.